Welcome back to your one-stop shop for captaincy in the 2021-2022 FPL season. There are quite a few key fixtures to target this game week, especially for the home teams, one of which is Chelsea at home to Southampton. I believe this is the easiest fixture. It is the bookmakers' biggest mismatch. I fancy Lukaku in that match. Another one is United at home to Everton. That's decent. You could go for Bruno or Ronaldo. I think the Leeds versus Watford match is nice, but it depends on Bamford's fitness. You've also got Wolves against Newcastle. You can't overlook Jimenez in that one. Lastly is West Ham versus Brentford. We've got to consider Antonio for that one. And if you really want to go and scrape the barrel, you could go for Wood against Norwich, Kane or Son against Villa, or Vardy against Palace. Okay, so let's start building the shortlist. The first player is Lukaku against Southampton at Stamford Bridge. The second player is Ronaldo against Everton at Old Trafford, and Antonio against Brentford at the London Stadium. This game week's honourable mention goes straight out to Bruno Fernandes. He probably is on penalties for United. We will discuss that later on in the video in the set pieces section for Ronaldo. He's not nailed on penalties though, and Ronaldo's been better from open play. Let's take a look at the stats combined from last season and the first 6 game weeks this season. First of all, I've converted Ronaldo's and Lukaku's Italian numbers from last season with a 0.88 multiplier. That's because the Premier League is roughly 12% more difficult from an attacking perspective. Antonio takes the lead on the non-penalty return points per 90 minutes, Lukaku is behind by 0.2 and Ronaldo is behind by 0.4. As for the expected data, as I mentioned, it is more efficient at forecasting future points. Both Antonio and Lukaku are at the top of this metric, whilst Ronaldo is only 0.1 point behind. All of the players on the shortlist are overperforming their underlying stats, especially Antonio. If we average these numbers out, Antonio's on 2.8, Lukaku's on 2.7 and Ronaldo's on 2.55, so the clear winner here is Antonio, and in second place it's Lukaku. Moving on to the set pieces, as you can see they've all got a question mark. That doesn't necessarily mean 50% chance though, I will explain. I would say Lukaku has a 50-50 chance with Jorginho for Chelsea. Ronaldo would say around about 30% and 70% for Bruno roughly. Bruno did say after the Champions League match that he was on penalty duty if one was to be awarded. Of course that was after missing a penalty as well, and people did assume that Ronaldo would now be on them, but I think there's a bit of confirmation bias there. Nevertheless, Ronaldo does still compete for penalty duties. We'll just have to see what happens with that situation. As for Antonio, I'd say he's around about a 1 in 3 chance for West Ham. He's competing with Benrahma and Rice. Ronaldo is the only player on the shortlist that's taking either free kicks or corners. He is on direct free kicks for United, but he's not on indirect free kicks or corners because he is an aerial threat. The other two were on neither. The winner of the set pieces section is just about Ronaldo because of the direct free kicks advantage. In a close second place it's Lukaku because he's got the best chance of taking a penalty. Something else that falls in Lukaku's favour is the probability. These odds are based on the assumption that each player plays 90 minutes. We will review the expected minutes later on in the video. Lukaku's got the highest anytime goalscorer odds with 48% and Antonio's behind by 10%. Lukaku also takes the lead on the anytime assist odds with 26% and the other two trail by 5%. For the anytime return odds, which is goals or assists combined, obviously Lukaku takes the lead with 62%, he's ahead of Ronaldo by 5% and Antonio by 11%, which means the undisputed winner is Lukaku and in second place is Ronaldo. The highest for the points projections this game week is Ronaldo at Fantasy Football Fix with 6.6, he leads by 0.2, and the highest at Fantasy Football Hub is Lukaku with 6.1, he also leads by 0.2. Both companies completely disagree on Antonio this game week. They both got him 1.2 points apart. To be fair, Lukaku is consistent on both websites. They're just 0.1 apart for the points projections. If we were to average out the figures, Ronaldo would be on 6.25, Lukaku would be on 6.15, and Antonio would only be on 5.8. Ronaldo edges first place for the points projections, and in second place is Antonio because he is consistently high. Now we'll compare the opposition's defence. Firstly, a big thanks to FPL Review, who are experts in FPL data models. They helped me convert Brentford's championship numbers from last season with a 1.6 multiplier. Lukaku's opponents Southampton and Antonio's opponents Brentford have the worst expected goals conceded figures, then Ronaldo's opponents Everton are only 0.1 ahead. Southampton have by far the most goals conceded per 90 minutes with 1.7, Brentford are ahead by 0.3, and Everton are ahead by 0.4. Southampton's poor defensive numbers are reflected through the clean sheet odds, where they've got the lowest chance of obtaining a clean sheet this game week. To be fair, there's not a lot between the opponents on this metric though, especially Everton, who's only got a 2% difference. The winner of this section is Lukaku again because his opponents have got the worst stats and worst clean sheet odds, and for second place I'd just call it a draw. Before we make a decision, let's carry out a quick risk assessment. All of the players played in Europe in midweek. Lukaku and Ronaldo played 90 minutes unfortunately in the Champions League, and Antonio only played 62 minutes in the Europa League. All of the players have around about 3 days rest, just under, which is enough I'd say. Lukaku has the highest expected minutes with 87, Ronaldo is only 2 minutes behind, and Antonio is only 3 minutes behind. If anything, this just confirms fitness, and I'm not concerned about the fitness of any of these players unless some news leaks after this video. There's barely a winner of this section. If I had to say, I would say Lukaku because of the expected minutes advantage, but only by a fraction, not much worth considering. Now it's time to come to a conclusion. If you've skipped forward to this point in the video, make sure you go back because you might come to a different decision. I'm tipping Romelu Lukaku as the best captain for Game Week 7 and I've put the reasons on the screen for you. Thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button if you've not already. Please press the like button if you found the video informative and I'll see you here again for Game Week 8.